Happy Blogtober Day 22. In today's video, we're going to be reading all comments. So before we get into it, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Become part of the Krazy Conspiracy team. Turn on your bell post notifications so that you'll be notified every time I drop a video. But without further ado, let's get into it. I always say let's get into it, and then I want to say one more thing. Don't mind the background, and don't mind my appearance, and don't mind the angle. I'm not at home. I don't have my equipment. And sorry for the shaking. I am laying on the bed, and I got y'all propped up a little weird on my brother's sheets, and there's like a little remote that I have this propped up on, so don't mind the shaking. But anyways, let's get into these comments. If you think about it, Aaliyah sacrificed herself to become what she wanted to be. After a while, Aaliyah did kind of go with the flow, but if she was never taught to date older men and have sex with them for money, she wouldn't have turned out the way she did. So at the end of the day, you have to point fingers at her parents because they groomed her. Maybe she thought she was strong enough to handle it, and if you think about it, she was strong because she never mentioned it and never ratted him out. The reason why she never opened her mouth about R. Kelly is because she signed an NDA, which is meant to keep her quiet, and if she does speak on anything about him, she could get sued or anything. He could literally get her in trouble. So that's one reason why she probably didn't speak on it. Another reason is that from the mouth of Lisa Van Allen, who was a victim of R. Kelly, she said that Aaliyah and R. Kelly made this pins and eyeballs thing where they said they would never speak on the relationship that went on between them. So that's probably another reason. And being that Aaliyah was mature and she was a peaceful person, she probably respected that. Well, she did respect that. Her sacrifice did the talking for her. I hate it happened that way, but it did. Yeah, I think that Aaliyah was kind of playing all sides, and when you do that in the industry, one of those sides are going to get mad and they are going to attack. And I think that that's what happened to Aaliyah, and she was just really sloppy with her work. I mean, she was smart at the same time with it, but then sloppy at the same time. And I think it caught up to her. I think she did know it was coming, but she was fully satisfied with what she had did in her career in her 22 years, which she did do a lot. And I think she was satisfied, and she just let whatever came to her come, and it did. So rest in peace, Aaliyah. Thank you for your comment. The next comment says, people tired of hearing about this. He'll never see the streets again, so let this rest now. We know how it happened and the outcome. Everybody trying to make money telling this same story over and over and over again. Let her rest in peace, please. Showing 4 pics while retelling this same stuff over and over, trying to make $1 of a dead baby girl. You all now need to go to jail. And I'm just gonna keep this clean and simple. A lot of people don't like what I talk about, and that is perfectly fine. You can have your opinions. You can try to talk me into not talking about this or whatever it is that you guys do. But at the end of the day, I know for a fact that I can talk about whatever I want, especially on my channel, and I'm not going against any laws by talking about these conspiracy theories, because that's all they are. Conspiracy theories, myths, whatever you want to call it. More of a myth and conspiracy theories. Okay. But at the end of the day, I'm going to continue to talk about what I want, and it's really irrelevant to comment this because I'm still going to talk about it. So I'm not reading any long ones, so I'm sorry. Everyone acts like she was this dumb little girl who didn't know what was going on around her. And I'm pretty sure Aaliyah knew exactly what was going on around her, but if she wasn't taught to do that, she wouldn't have even known what sex was with older men. Like, her mom groomed her. I think it was more of her mom that did this, and that's why she said that she wanted to be like her mom. That's just my opinion, my assumption. You can think what you want to think, but she learned it from the best of the best, basically. She even said she was mature for her age, and she lied right beside him on the BET interview when they wore the Mickey Mouse outfits. It doesn't matter if she says she was of age and if she knew what was going on. It's still wrong. She's still a victim, and she's still going to be a victim in the government's eyes. So the government would not feel this way as you're feeling. She knew she wanted to be famous so much that she went along with it. After a while, I think she did go along with it, but like I said before, if she wouldn't have been taught that, she would have turned out differently. Things would have turned out differently. There are plenty of teenage girls who do the same thing, even with boys, and have babies. Not blaming her, but it is what it is. She knew herself. I know she was being fast, and she knew probably what was going on. It's kind of obvious, but it's still wrong. And if you take this to the government, guess what they're gonna do? Guess what they're gonna say? They're gonna take action, and they're gonna say that this is unacceptable. With law, it's illegal and horrible, no matter if she was mature or not. Next comment says, Jay-Z dated her first and Foxy Brown. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about who got Aretha pregnant at the age of 12 and had 2 kids by the age of 14. That's sickening. I am not really too familiar with Aretha, but I would really like to know who her parents is. Let's talk about Jimmy Lee Lewis. Let's talk about Elvis. We don't, because they all dead, right? We'll let that girl rest in peace. And just because Aaliyah's dead don't mean we can't talk about her past. Like, I don't know where people got that from, but I'm gonna always continue to talk about whoever I want to talk about, even if they're gone. It does not matter. It just makes it more suspenseful when they're not here. God rest Aaliyah's soul, but she was very private, and a lot of people want to at least hear some myths or assuming about her life because she was so private, like what went on in her sexual life, like, and what can you or anybody else do about people like me who want to talk about it? What can you do about it? Everyone has opinions, and they should be able to say how they feel exactly. Even if my opinions are more, everyone is entitled to their own opinions, whether people like it or not. Your channel is strictly entertainment. Some things I agree with you, and other things you talk about I don't. It's human nature to want to know more about certain topics and talk about them. And people are going to agree with me, some people are going to disagree. That is perfectly fine. I cannot do nothing about that. I'm not in my feelings if you disagree. I always want people to share their real feelings with me, as long as you're not being disrespectful and calling me out of my name and this and that and the third. Like, it's perfectly fine. Yeah, people are curious on certain topics, and that is perfectly fine. Like, what's a human without wondering? Y'all getting on my last nerve. Let this young lady rest in peace. Oh my God. Everyone trying to tell their story for $1. This relevant after her death years later? Apparently so. Hurt her how? I don't understand your point. Did Aaliyah say she was hurt? What I mean by hurt is that in the end, it kind of was messy. Especially for her. Because everybody bashed her and not R. Kelly. So at the end of the day, all of this was just probably hurtful for her. And she probably realized that when all of it was over and she got bashed for his nonsense. It's not for you to understand, ma'am, I'm guessing. If you don't understand, then maybe you should find something to understand. R. Kelly is so full of it. He know how old Aaliyah was. True. I think that he totally knew. I'm pretty sure Barry Hankerson was like, this is my niece. She's 12 years old. Da 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 da. Or he asked her, how old are you? I'm 12. I'm pretty sure he heard her age. But it's just the safest tale. Justice is about to be served. God always punishes wicked people. Amen. I remember having a dream meeting her. She was wearing the back and forth outfit. Aw, that's cute. I wish I could meet her in one of her video forms. That'd be dope. But I had a dream about Aaliyah, and she was actually in a beautiful outfit. Nothing that we have never seen before. Like, let me explain. It was she had her hair like this, and it was identical, like the part and everything. It was more clean though, I think. Kind of like this. And she had on a black turtleneck with a black denim jacket, I think, or just all black. Black pants, and then she had on her, I think her Timberland boots, the tan ones. She looked so beautiful. She sounded identical to how she do in her interviews. I mean, it was so real. She was just so beautiful. She was talking to me. I was talking to her. I love having dreams about Aaliyah. And I also want to update you guys on that A that I seen on my wall. It's no longer there. So I think it was a sign from Aaliyah. But that's amazing. You guys leave comments down below telling me the dreams that you have of Aaliyah, and I'll definitely make a video sharing your guys' dreams, because I think that is so dope. Like, I love hearing other people's dreams. Like, you had a dream of Aaliyah? Like, what was it about? Tell me. So let me know down below, and I'll definitely share your story. You can let me know too if you don't want your name mentioned, or you can come in my inbox, however you want to do it. So yeah, let's talk about each other's dreams. I believe Barry Hankerson knew about all of this. All he is trying to do is cover his tracks. I 100% agree. Nothing more, nothing less. The cat was a sacrifice to Satan. Little does she know the ultimate soul snatcher is going to claim her soul. And I think that's what happens when those devil worshippers die. I think that their soul goes to an evil place. Like, is it worth it at the end? No, but I don't think that evil souls go with the good souls. So be good, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, she said, and I'm not gonna tell you guys the video. If you want to try to figure out what it is, go ahead, but I'm not gonna say the videos that they're commenting under. So sorry, I might put it on the screen if I'm feeling up to it. But somebody else said, how do you know when it first started? Were you there? And she's talking about the sexual encounter between Aaliyah and R. Kelly, and it's quite evident. I say this all the time. Like I don't know what she was, a juror, not the juror, but somebody, I don't know, in court. They said they think that it began immediately after she started working with him, and she would have been 12. So it probably was her first recording session that it happened. No, I'm not certain. I never said that I knew this for a fact, but yeah. You sound like you're dragging this. Made me sleepy, and you shouldn't be talking about anyone weight or figure. That's rude. No one is jealous of skinny women and thick women. Stop it. I don't even know what she's talking about. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe not. Somebody said, girl, what are you even talking about? You're overanalyzing this. Okay. Aaliyah never wore a lot of weave. That was her hair, child. Are you certain? Were you even around in the 90s when girls dressed like tomboys and wore tube tops and tank tops? Doesn't matter. This is too much. In my opinion, I was a kid when Aaliyah was around in the 90s. Her mom was her manager, and she loved her mom, and they had a great relationship. Now, I want to say this. A lot of people feel like you had to be born, like, or a kid or a teenager in the 90s to speak about Aaliyah. I want to say that for the people who were kids or teenagers back then, did you guys really thoroughly look into theories or myths back then? No, because you were brainwashed, and that's what we are trained to do. And the people today are more woke. Don't be mad at it. And I hate when they say that you have to be a certain age to even be speaking on this. Show me on some type of rule book that you had to be born back then to speak on older celebrities. Show me. Her mom was wrong for allegedly messing with R. Kelly, if that's even true to say. And you know what? I think it is. That's why her mom gets very in her feelings when people bring that up. She comes out really quick. You people back in the day need to really open your eyes and start listening to your kids or listening to other young folks, because I feel like we know more than you. at this point. We are the ones who woke y'all up, basically. People today woke people back then up. Let's argue about it. No, too long. We don't want to hear no more about it, period. If you was taken advantage of multiple times by people around you, would you want to keep on talking about it? You know what? People are going to talk about what they want to talk about. If I was in Aaliyah's situation, I would just ignore it like she did, honestly, because Aaliyah herself couldn't get people to stop talking about this if she wanted to, if she was here. If you don't want to hear more about it, do yourself a favor and block my channel, and you will never have to see it again. And block all the other channels that talk about it. Anyways, that'll be it for today's video. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.
Do you remember that one night when we fell in love? What we had felt so right, 'cause we had trust. Now it's drowning in our lives. I know we're broken up, you know the feelings deep inside. So what? You, what we been through?